one of the first integrated business processes that you're going to be encountering during the SAP exercise. Okay, now let us have a look at the background of the company that we're going to be using during the lab exercise. Now, before we go even further, currently we are at 46 people, including me, inside this session. So if you can contact some of your friends who are currently not in this session and ask them to join, that would be very helpful. Okay, have a guess. For this company, what are they selling?
Bicycle.
Okay, what bike? Motorcycles or bicycle? Okay, bicycle. Okay, correct. So some of you have some common knowledge about bicycle. Okay, I'm guessing most of you know how to ride a bicycle. So some of the basic accessories and also some of the different kind of bicycle that is inside this company, they will be selling, they will be making, they will be purchasing. Those are the things that we will be interacting for the case study. Now, if you look at here, okay, now we're going to be using SAP S/4HANA, the latest version of SAP. We're going to base off model global bike, and also there is no prerequisite for this subject. Okay, the author that has created this module, this chapter, and also this is for beginners basically. Okay, so the main objective of this slide is basically we're going to learn about global bike group, and also we're going to see how it's being organized around the world, what product are they making, and also what are they selling. And we're going to see some of the business partners of GBI. Okay, GBI is in short for Global Bike Incorporated. Okay, I'm going to basically use the term GBI rather than Global Bike. So take note on that. Okay, now we're going to see and also at the end we're going to see the different business processes that is being undertaken by GBI. Okay, so let us have a look at the group itself, some background. Okay, the group itself, GBI, is concerned of fulfilling its ERP capabilities. So in terms of making sure that their daily task is being executed properly without any hiccups, they employ the help of ERP system. For this case, they are using SAP, a type of ERP system to assist them in terms of managing their information and also their daily business routine, like selling, making, and also information tracking. Mostly is on information tracking. Okay, the history, we see that the CEOs, those who created the company, Global Bike Incorporated, John Davis and also Peter Schwartz. Okay, now notice here at the end of the statement for John Davis, he is in the US. Peter Schwartz is in the Germany. So you're going to be handling the sales sorry, not the sales, the information for the ERP on 2 different locations. And then we're going to be looking at the physical location even further later. Okay. And for also for your reference, GBI is not real, if I'm not mistaken. GBI is a case company and imaginary company. It's not really a real world company. It's a case company that is going to be utilized by us for this subject. Okay, so we have some of the responsibility that is being taken by John and also Peter. If you look at here, some of the different business processes, some of the different focus of the 2 different person is being assigned here. If you look at John, he will be settling on sales, marketing, service and support, IT, finance, and human resource, while Peter is going to be doing research, design, procurement, and also manufacturing. Okay, John will, in short, John will be selling and bringing money, while Peter is going to be producing and also spend money. So those are 2 different aspects of what they are doing inside GBI. Okay, so their business model is basically on the quality, the toughness, and also the performance of the bike itself. Okay, so they are doing something on touring and also off-road racing. So hopefully you can just do a quick look up from your side the difference between touring bike and also off-road bike. If you have any question, please stop me through the usage of your mic, because currently I'm not opening the chat. Currently I'm on single screen, and also I'm not opening the chat because it will basically disrupt the display of the slide itself. So if any question that you may have related to the slide, please stop me with audio. Okay, your connection is unstable. Okay. Excuse me, I need to exit one meeting. Okay. Okay. Now we continue. Now, if you look at here, Global Bike Group. Global Bike Group is basically the overall company organization, and then it's being broken down into 2: GBI, that is going to be in the US, and also Global Bike Germany, GmbH. This one is going to be this is going to be in Germany. Different location in Dallas, Miami, San Diego, Heidelberg, and also Hamburg. Now, this information here that you see, you're going to be applying it when you do your lab exercise, especially when you're going to be doing your lab exercise on sales and distribution. Now, when you're going, based on this slide here, okay, have a quick look. Now, going back here, if I were to mention that next week you're going to be starting your lab exercise on sales and distribution. I repeat it again, sales and distribution. So which part of Global Bike Group, will you be interacting? Global Bike Incorporated, that is stationed at US, or Global Bike Germany, that is stationed in Germany. Now, I'm going to just quickly pick a name. I cannot see everyone. Okay, I'm going to pick a name from here. Putri, can you turn on your mic? Hello? Hello? Putri, are you there? Just a quick, just to make sure, can everyone hear me? Or am I just talking to my computer?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we can hear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can hear. So currently, where is Putri? Okay, Putri, if you can quickly reply on the question just now, or you can do something on the chat. Maybe you have problem with your microphone, I'm not sure. So we are going back here. Which part of GBI in the US or GBI in the Germany when you're going to be doing your lab exercise next week on sales? Okay, not sure what happened to Putri. Okay, now next name. Farhan Firdaus, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay, now looking back at the slide, if you were to do your sales and distribution exercise next week, from your opinion, which one will be you will be utilizing? Data from Global Byte Incorporated or Global Byte Germany?
Maybe Germany.
Germany. Okay. Now, anyone here has different opinion? You may say in the chat. Okay, thank you. Okay, none. Okay,
GBI US.
GBI US. Okay, thank you, Alif. Now, just to make sure, okay, just now to whom did I just ask the question? Okay, Farhan, sorry. Keep on forgetting. Okay, now just to make sure you are clear, if you notice from this slide, John will be responsible for sales, marketing, service, IT, finance, and human resource. Peter is on research, design, procurement, and manufacturing. So next week, we're going to start on sales and distribution. So sales, who is responsible? John. So from here, John is doing sales. So John is in the US. So the data that we're going to be utilizing for next week is going to be from GBI Incorporated in the US, not German. But whether is it Dallas, Miami, San Diego, I'm not sure on that. We're going to be looking at it even further next week. Okay, so this is some of the names that we're going to be involved with. Not really clear here, but you may zoom in afterwards. Okay, so some of the products that is being produced or being used by GBI. So we're going to see 4 different products: trading goods, raw materials, semi-finished goods, and also finished goods. Now, these are the 4 things. If you look at trading goods, air pumps, elbow pad, first aid kit, knee pads, those are some of the trading goods that is being sold or being purchased by GBI. Okay. Now, if you notice, I stating sell and purchase. Now, can anyone explain to me, not explain, just use your common sense, the trading goods just now? Okay, if you notice, I changed my screen. I'm going to pick a name. So be ready. Okay, some of you already replied. Okay, now be ready. The wheels go around and around. The wheels go around and around. Oh my God, who is going to be chosen? Okay. Shafiq Suhaimi, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, going back to this slide here, trading goods, air pump, elbow pads, first aid kits. Now, just now I mentioned that GBI is going to be selling this thing and also going to be buying this thing. Why? The selling part, why are they selling this thing? Because they are this product.
Because
That is clear. Now, the next, okay, now, the thing that I want to know is why are they buying it? Why would they buy this thing?
to sell it back, maybe.
Yes, that is true, basically, to sell it back. Because currently, when you sell stuff, you're going to be running out of supplies. So basically, to replenish your supplies, let's say, for example, you have 50 air pumps. On one day, someone is buying 50 air pumps. So how do you want to make sure you have more air pumps for the next customer? You buy it again. Okay, buy it from whom? We're going to be taking it. We're going to take a look at it even further during the material management part of the lab exercise that is on purchasing. Okay, thank you. Okay, now trading goods. This is the part where basically GBI doesn't produce those things. Okay, Global Byte doesn't produce these things. They just buy it from a company and then sell it. Okay, that is trading goods. Raw material is also a different kind of product. This is the part where they buy something to produce something. So notice there are a few things that, if you look at here, there are a few things that is in Global Byte Incorporated. Some of it they buy it. They buy the finished good itself. Sorry, it's not finished good. It's called trading goods. They buy a finished product so that they could sell it. Now, raw material. This is the things that they buy to produce something. Notice the things here. Okay, now I'm going to pick another name. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. Nurul Amira, are you there? Nurul Amira? Okay, Nurul Amira. Okay, we can do it through also can do it through the chat. Now, looking back on this slide here, raw material. Notice the items from brake kit to woman's off-road frame. Okay, if you look at this thing, if you combine every single thing, what will you have? If you combine every single thing that you see here, what you're going to get? Random answer, no, also no problem. Okay, bicycle maybe. Okay, true, correct. So what you're going to be getting here is basically a bicycle. Notice brake kits. Okay, those. Hopefully you guys can imagine what is a brake kit. Carbon composite wheel. Okay, chain, gear assembly, hex nut, lock washer. So those are the different components of a bicycle. If you break up a bicycle and sort it according to this component, you're going to have your basic raw materials of a bicycle. Okay, not the basic raw materials, but basically we define it as raw materials. If you this is for our case. If you want to define it as raw material as pure steel or plastic pellets, that is also another raw material, depending on the industry itself. But currently, for our case, raw material is this. We're not going to be producing chains, but we're going to be using chains that is already pre-assembled. We're going to be also defining it as raw material. Okay. Now, semi-finished goods. Semi-finished goods are basically some of the, okay, now move on to the next question. Next victim. My next victim. Who is going to be my next victim? Aslam Asri, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Give me another synonym of the word semi.
Partial.
Partial, half, yes, correct. So if we go, okay, thank you. Okay, now, if we go back to here, semi-finished goods means that the item itself is half finished, which means that it's not basically the finished product yet, half finished. There are a few different category of products, but currently we are going to be involving with only 4. Okay, now, finished goods. Finished goods are basically the items, the end product of the company that the company can sell to the customer. Now, if you look at here, basically they have 2 major categories. One is touring bike, one is off-road bike. Now, I'm going to ask another question to another person. Hafiz Faiz, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, common knowledge question. Sorry. Common knowledge question. From these 2 bicycles, touring bike and off-road bikes, which bicycle handle is wider?
Off-road, sir.
Okay, it's a definite off-road. Okay, my questions are quite easy. I just want to make sure that everyone is in front of the PC. Okay, thank you. Now, if you also notice, we have description, but the main data that is inside SAP is the codes that you see at the back. DXTR 1000, DXTR 3000, ALWA 2000, BRKT 1000, PUMP 1000. Those are the important data that is being defined inside SAP for the usage of the company. So you notice that those codes or those IDs at the back are their unique ID for each material. We're going to be utilizing not everything, but some of it during our lab exercise. Okay, now notice here, these are the different customers that is involved with GBI. There are some of it from, on the left hand side are the people from the US, and also on the right hand side are the people from Germany. Okay, now here is the vendor list. Okay, also on the right hand side is the German part of GBI's vendor, and also on the left hand side are the vendors for the US portion of GBI. Now, next question. Mohsin Ismail, are you there? Checking. Okay, you are on the chat. Okay, now, question. Who is selling and who is buying? Vendor and customer. Vendor is selling, customer is buying, correct? So hopefully you can brush up on your jargons related to business processes. Vendors are basically people who sell stuff. Customer are basically people who buy stuff. Okay, so These are the processes that you're going to be involved with throughout the whole ACP subject. Okay, you're going to be, okay, the first part is basically the layman term, sell. The professional term that is being used inside SAP is fulfillment. So we're going to be playing around with these jargons here. So sell is going to be fulfillment, buy is procurement, make is production, track is financial accounting, track is in terms of controlling. Both tracking is on financial. People, human capital management, store is basically inventory and warehouse management, maintain is enterprise asset management, service is customer service and projects on project management. Okay. Now, cross-function integration. If you see here, this is one of the common problems of organization, even on this day. It's being called a silo effect. Now, can anyone here show, can anyone, okay, maybe I shouldn't ask the question. I'm just going to do a quick search here. What is silo? Okay, now notice here, silo. It looks like some sort of aluminum steel-based build-up of a structure. Now, if you notice here, this is the silos are being used to basically store stuff, put grains, milk. So silo is basically one tall compartment. Now, in an organization, people usually don't work together here. This is the problem. People tend to do their own work inside their own silo, not talking to the other people from the other department. And also this department here will be also working on what they are doing in their own silo. So ERP is to make sure that this silo effect doesn't happen. Actually, it still happens, but the effect itself is being lessened. So in terms of cross-function integration is that basically different departments with different functions are working together to achieve the same goal. Because currently, when we're going to start on sales and distribution, now, currently, if you notice here, there are two words, sales and distribution. Now, we're going to be looking at also another part. Okay. Let's see. Next victim. Atika, are you there? Okay, yes. Now, minimum number of organizational department that is going to be involved with sales and distribution. Give me a number. How many? Minimum. Five. Okay, 5 is, I'm guessing it's maximum. Okay, now 5, or basically there's going to be minimum of 3. One is going to be the people from sales department. 2 is going to be people from warehouse department, and 3 is going to be people from finance department. And depends currently, but minimum usually is 3, because there are going to be people who is handling the customer order, that is the sales. There is someone who's going to be taking the item out of the company storage, that is the people from inventory, and also there is going to be people who's going to be handling on the monetary transaction of that certain sale. There is going to be people from the finance. So even though it's being called sales and distribution, there are multiple people from different departments that's going to be working together to make sure the customer is getting their sales done. Sorry, it's not their sales. The customer purchase done. Okay. Now, if you look at here, their minimum is 3. Currently here doesn't really mention warehouse. There is something on SD, MM, and finance, sales and distribution, material management, and also financial accounting. Okay, so 3 different departments that is going to be involved with order to cash process. This is just one process involving 3 different departments. So it started with creating new customer until the customer can receive their receipt of payment. Some of it being done by finance, some of the process is being done by material, and also most of the process is being done by sales and distribution. Okay, so that is how some of the introduction related to GBI. Hopefully, this will be much more clearer when you start doing your lab exercise. Or it could be more complicated. Depends. This is procure to cash, which means that this is basically the process of buying an item for GBI. Currently here, there are 2, material management and also finance. But currently there is supposed to be warehouse in here, because when your item is being sent by the vendor, you need to keep it someplace. But maybe this is on a different process. Maybe it's just buying and then immediately delivering it to a customer. Could be. Okay, so that is the end of introduction to GBI. Okay, so this will be in your quiz 1. So quiz 1 will be starting on next week. It's not going to be that complicated. Hopefully we can do some exercise afterwards. Okay, now any question before we proceed to sales and distribution? Okay, so currently not yet, because currently you're going to be having question related to GBI when we are moving into the lab exercise. Okay, now how can I use whiteboard? Okay, start a new whiteboard. Okay, now one of my whiteboard is not really that helpful. Maybe I should use words. Okay, now I'm going to be trying to do a sample structure for a company that is, let's say for example, we try to imagine there is a company that is going to start applying ERP from SAP. Now, I'm going to basically create a structure with the help of you guys. Okay, now I'm going to insert something. Okay, now okay, let's say, for example, I'm going to create UMP is going to be applying an ERP system from SAP. Now, from here, okay, I'm going to open the chat side by side. Where is it? Okay, I'm going to open the chat side by side. Okay, Now, let's say, for example, UMP Group, a company that is focusing on delivering the best education in the world. So, if we were to apply the same practice like what GBI is doing, how are we going to break up UMP into? So down here, I need to put how many boxes. Now, the next person, my next victim. Okay. Shavitran Morgan, are you there? Are you there? Okay, what happened? The caption is scary. Okay, turn off caption. Okay, next one. Nur Fatin, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if you look at here, UMP Group, with the current, with your current common knowledge about our university, how many boxes should I put down there, UMP Group?
Maybe 2.
2. Okay. Now, if I were to put 2, what should it be?
One box maybe for lecture.
Lecturer. Okay, the other?
Student.
Student. Okay, let's try that. Okay, now I'm going to basically let us see how will the chart look like, and then we're going to be rectifying it. Okay, now starting from lecturer and also student. Now I'm going to be rectifying this a little bit. So let's say, for example, here I'm going to put gambar. And here, I'm going to put pekan. Okay, now we have 2 different locations. There are some departments that are in Gambang and some departments that are in Pekan. Now, we will move on to the next item. I'm going to basically ask someone for input. Now, in Gambang, let's say if you're going to put something, another breakdown of structure, organization. Okay, sorry, just now, Fatin, Fatin tadi. Thank you.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, now the next person, Jenny, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Jenny. Now, for Gambang, can you give me a suggestion of how many boxes, or can you name me one box?
Film?
Film is Gambang, eh?
I'm not sure. Attack, is it?
I'm also not sure. Okay, tak apa. Okay, thank you. Next one. I'm going to ask someone. Is Izati? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Give me one box in Pekan.
FCOM.
Obvious. Okay, FCOM. Oh, sorry, I'm not sure what happened just now. FCOM. Okay, thank you very much. So this could be one way of, let's say, okay, before this, I asked a few questions that is like this during the finals for previous previous semesters SAP, but lucky for you guys, there is no more finals. But then I already gave up one of my favorite questions that is usually asked during finals. Maybe you can utilize this next time. Okay, so this is one way of basically defining an organization if they are implementing new ERP with the help of SAP. So FIM, FIS, I'm not sure. Okay. For example, you have FIS, but currently I'm guessing this is not 100% accurate, because if I'm not mistaken, we can also do it in a different fashion from Gambang. You have basically it's not directly FIS, FIM, and FCOM. We have School of Engineering, School of Computing. So, College of Engineering, College of Computing. So it could be different. So that is some of the example of how do you basically propose an organizational structure that is going to be implemented inside SAP. Okay, save. No. Okay, so take 5 minutes break, and then we're going to be going into sales and distribution. Okay, 10 minutes break. At least 10 minutes break. 5 minutes break, you won't even be able to finish up your toast. Okay, so 10 minutes break.